WNBA without Caitlin Clark remains an attraction that not many people want to watch. Without Caitlin Clark,
is going to massively affect the WNBA. It's going to massively affect the league.
She is the most well-known basketball player.
The boom wasn't a WNBA boom. It was a Caitlin Clark.
Ticket sales are plummeting, ratings are collapsing, and arenas echo with silence. The once blazing hype, gone without a trace.
The Caitlin Clark effect is going to be tabled, and we're going to find out what kind of ratings and attendance we see for the Indiana Fever.
Clark is the only driver of your business.
The same league that ignored the fouls, the hate, and the targeting, now desperately pleads for her return.
Christine Brennan puts it perfectly. WNBA without Clark, league feels the hurt. Without Caitlin Clark, fan fervor's down. Ticket sales are down, merchandise is down.
This isn't a minor setback. This is a full-scale Caitlin Clark emergency shaking the entire league.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
If you stand with Caitlin Clark, flood the comments with, Caitlin, Clark is the WNBA. Let the world hear it loud and clear.
She is more famous than all of this generation's NBA star.
Everything changed the moment the news dropped. Caitlin Clark would be sidelined with a quad injury.
It is undeniable that Caitlin Clark is the engine.
Caitlin Clark effect. There has been so much of an influx in attendance, in jersey sales, and viewership, all the things.
That's about star power, narrative, and likability.
Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA, goes through college. She has panache. She has style.
The shock wasn't just emotional. It hit the WNBA deep in. Its wallet, and everyone in the league felt the tremor.
Caitlin Clark's injury is going to massively affect the WNBA. It's going to massively affect the league.
The first wave smashed into the ticket market like a tidal force. StubHub prices slashed in half almost overnight.
Clark is hurt. She's going to miss games for the first time in her WNBA career. She's got a quad strain. Left quad strain. Uh-oh. 2 weeks out. Hasn't missed any games. Let's talk some business here for a minute, if you don't mind. Let's talk about the fact.
Once word spread that Caitlin Clark wouldn't play, entire arena sections sat deserted. Empty rows. Silent seats. This wasn't just a letdown. It was devastation.
Ticket scalpers are taking a beating. If you look at the prices on StubHub, they're being slashed in half. There's no way you're going to be able to sell those tickets for Caitlin Clark prices.
The Washington Mystics switched to a bigger venue expecting Clark to draw a crowd. But when she was ruled out, the plan collapsed. Attendance dipped, fans vanished, and resale tickets lost all value. It echoed Lionel Messi's MLS absences, where fans were refunded. But here, nothing. No apology. No offer. No acknowledgement that Clark is the reason most fans even show up. And that's the truth the league's been hiding. Clark isn't just another rookie. She's the league's heartbeat, its ticket magnet, its momentum.
The Mystics decided, hey, we have an idea. Let's move the game. Everybody was moving Caitlin Clark games to bigger facilities because everyone was selling tickets. There were ratings. It was a ratings bonanza. Now with Caitlin Clark not playing, what do? Well, when you change your situs, guess what? You can't change it back.
Without Caitlin Clark, the illusion crumbles. Her absence kills the spotlight. And for a league clinging to dreams of growth, that's terrifying. The timing? Even worse. With expansion talks and labor deals looming, her injury ripped the mask off the WNBA's biggest secret. If one player, sitting out for 2 weeks, can sink everything, then this isn't a league. It's a one-woman production.
In fact, when Caitlin Clark's not playing, you see people turning it off or selling their tickets.
Now let's break down the numbers, because they're not just bad, they're brutal. The moment Caitlin Clark stopped playing, ratings didn't just drop, they nosedived. Earlier in the season, Clark-led matchups drew millions. 3.2 million viewers for the Sky, 2.7 million against the Liberty, and consistent 600K to 700K viewership on ESPN and ION.
The jerseys, the number 22, the various styles, whether it's a t-shirt with 22, whether it's an Iowa jersey, whether it's a Fever jersey, a throwback, I mean, whatever. The amount of people in yellow 22 apparel is stunning.
She's the engine, the spark, the unstoppable magnet. It felt like a breakthrough, ratings women's hoops had dreamed of for decades. But the second Caitlin was sidelined, ratings free fell. Games without her dropped into the 300K range. Sun vs. Lynx, just 431,000. Storm vs. Mercury? Only 344,000. That's nearly half the viewers from a week earlier. Worse, those numbers dipped below 2023 averages despite all the 2024 hype. The worst-rated games of the year? During Clark's absence. And that's the truth the WNBA won't admit. This isn't league-wide momentum. It's Caitlin-driven. She is the spark. She is the magnet.
WNBA hasn't seen any growth when it comes to the non-Caitlin Clark game.
The Caitlin Clark effect is undeniable. When she's gone, the media machine goes dark. Just look at opening night. Clark's Fever faced the Connecticut Sun, pulling 1.3 million viewers and peaking at nearly 1.9 million. That was the biggest WNBA opener in years. Why? Clark. The Valkyries' debut with Paige Buchers drew 581,000 and 639,000. Solid, but the follow-up games? Not even close.
Caitlin Clark games 3.2 versus the Sky, 2.7 versus Liberty. The Caitlin Clark games still are performing at a nice rate.
And here's the gut punch. Even the non-Clark highs couldn't hold. Just 1 week later, the ratings crashed back to the old WNBA baseline. Or worse.
The most famous basketball player under 30 was Caitlin Clark.
According to the Ben Daniel podcast, WNBA games without Caitlin Clark are now averaging less viewership than in 2023. Let that sink in. After all the buzz, all the headlines, all the supposed growth, non-Clark ratings are lower than last year's. That's not progress. It's exposure. Exposure of a league that still relies on one superstar to stay afloat.
Week number 1 on ION, Paige Becker's WNBA debut, 639,000. The Valkyries' inaugural game, 581,000. Outside of games involving Caitlin Clark, those are the second and third highest WNBA audiences ever on ION.
It's not just TV screens reflecting the drop. Attendance is echoing the same decline. When Caitlin Clark takes the floor, stadiums overflow, fans travel cross-state, and tickets skyrocket on resale markets. But when she's out, arenas can't even crack 70% capacity. That Baltimore game? Moved to a bigger venue just because they thought she'd play.
And week 2 ratings fall off a cliff and revert back to the mean.
And still, only 11,000 fans showed up to a stadium built for 14,000. If Caitlin had suited up, it would have been a packed house. Instead, rows of empty seats and silent, disappointed fans. It's not just arenas. Networks are pulling back too. ABC, not interested. ESPN, backing away. CBS, skipping. If Twitter 22 isn't playing, the big names aren't buying. That's why Clarkless games are stuck on NBA TV and barely register. And now, with her sidelined, the league is facing its nightmare, realizing how fragile this so-called success truly is. Because let's face it, there is no WNBA boom without Caitlin Clark.
If Caitlin Clark was playing, that 11.7, if they didn't want to bring out the folding chairs, would have been 11.7. It would have been a sellout. Anybody who watched the game last night could take a look at the crowd and say, yeah, this is about 70% capacity.
It's time to face reality. The WNBA doesn't have a superstar problem. It has a superstar dependence. And that one superstar is Caitlin Clark. She's not just the league's biggest name. She's one of the most recognizable athletes in the country. Analysts say only 2 basketball players in America outrank her in visibility: LeBron James and Stephen Curry.
She has a legitimate argument that she's a top 5 player in the league, and before this injury, probably was going to make a real case to win league MVP this year.
That's it. Not Durant, not Jokic, not a single WNBA veteran. Caitlin Clark, on a struggling team, as a rookie who hasn't even completed a full season, is bigger than 98% of the NBA and everyone in her league. That level of fame? She earned it. It's not just media fluff. It's her impact. When Caitlin takes the floor, the entire vibe shifts. Crowds multiply, cameras zoom, broadcasters snap to life. She doesn't just bring skill, she brings electricity.
LeBron with the NBA, obviously Jordan, Kobe, at least was close to the best, if not the best for a brief period. And it's what is going to happen, I believe, with Caitlin Clark, because I do think she will have a period where she is clearly the best player in the league.
Because every time she steps on that court, anything could happen. A behind-the-back assist, a 3 from the logo, a buzzer beater, or maybe another bruising foul from a bitter veteran trying to make a point. Even the critics can't look away. And that's the unshakable force of superstardom.
They have seen 0 when it comes to the non-Caitlin Clark game.
It's never just about points on a scoreboard. It's about changing the entire landscape. And Caitlin Clark has done exactly that. She's rewritten the culture of women's basketball. No one, not Angel Reese, not Aja Wilson, not even Diana Taurasi, has sparked this level of nationwide frenzy. No one else packs arenas just by stepping off the team bus. No one else triggers triple-digit resale prices for tickets. On the road, Caitlin Clark does it. The data doesn't lie. When she's on the schedule, teams upgrade to bigger arenas.
She is highly likable. I think that lends itself to her popularity as she comes across as somebody that's really just respectful, likable. There's other players out there that just don't come across that way.
Because demand explodes. Venues built for 7,000 are suddenly racing to handle 14,000. But when Caitlin's not on the court, that buzz? Gone. Nobody's arriving early to watch Alyssa Thomas warm up. Nobody's flipping seats for a Suns vs. Mercury game. And definitely no one's skipping work to see Brianna Stewart jog through shoot-around. TV execs get it too. ABC, CBS, ESPN. They only care when Caitlin's name is attached. That's why the Indiana Fever, still under 500, are the most televised team in the league. It's not about standings. It's about the superstar who moves the business needle. Yet inside the league, there are still whispers, still people pushing the idea that Clark is just another rookie, that she's overhyped, that she hasn't earned it. But while they gatekeep, Caitlin Clark is quietly dominating, with the top-selling jersey in the league.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. I'm so happy. I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
And the momentum doesn't stop there. Her games pull in the highest TV ratings. Her clips lead social media. She's not just an athlete, she's a media engine. And here's the hard truth. The WNBA has never seen this before. Sue Bird, Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi, legends, absolutely. But they didn't bring the entire country's attention to women's basketball. Caitlin Clark did. In mere months, she pulled in millions of new viewers, fans who had never tuned in before. Suddenly, ESPN, Fox Sports, even CNN are covering WNBA stories regularly. Even her critics can't stop talking. That's not rookie buzz. That's a cultural shift. And yet the league treats her like a threat, allows her to be battered game after game, lets players and coaches chip at her with backhanded comments and bitterness, keeps pushing that tired share the spotlight story, like anyone else is carrying what she's carrying. But fans see it. The media's catching on. And now with her injured, the league's vulnerabilities are fully exposed. She's the only player who consistently commands the national stage.
She is a supernova, a level of fame with one-of-a-kind talent, and it is game-changing for the entire league.
The only one who gets viewers to stick around from tip-off to final buzzer. She created the WNBA ratings surge, and she's the only reason it's still breathing. Even benched, her name dominates headlines. Commentators are asking if the league can survive her absence. Fans are demanding explanations for her treatment. Players can't stop calling her out online. Why? Because deep down, everyone knows. Caitlin Clark is the show. The rest? Background noise. And now the league faces a crossroads. Will it keep trying to mute her light to soothe old egos? Or will it finally accept the truth? Caitlin Clark isn't just the league's future. She's the reason it has one. She's not just a player. She's the league's pulse. Its top, attraction, its last hope. Without her, the illusion fades. The ratings collapse. The silence in the stands says what no press release can. So as the league scrambles to bring her back, the reality is unmistakable. The WNBA's success hinges on her.
WNBA rumors suggest Caitlin Clark will be among the first stars making $1 million annually. The most notable of which is, y'all already know who, the needle mover, Caitlin Clark.
So in 2024, she averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 assists, 5.5 rebounds. She shot 37% from the field and 31.8% from three. Now, if you look at her preseason in 2025, she only played 2 games in this preseason, and one was against that Brazilian national team. She played 21 minutes. She averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. She shot 52.5% from the field and 50% from three-point range.
Rewritten interview 25. If you believe it too, if you know Caitlin Clark is the WNBA, then don't stay silent. Let your voice ring out. Drop a comment. Share this video. And help the world understand who's truly lifting women's basketball to new heights. Because here's the bottom line. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA isn't just struggling, it's lost.